This week, actually, is an interesting scenario. You're going to have the Giants, which, of course, is the team for which you played your entire career, and they just retired your number a couple of weeks ago. What are you expecting that to be like for you, talking about, again, many of the players have turned over, and the coaches and all the rest of that, but that's still, the blue uniforms and everything else out there. What's that going to be like?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Obviously, in most cases, when someone is broadcasting a football game, they cannot show any alliance to a team. That will not be the case this upcoming week. I am a Giants fan. I will be rooting hard for the Giants, and that will be pretty obvious. And so that's again where this kind of comes into play. It is different, and that's not the case in a lot of broadcasting deals. And so, people will kind of see my reactions to a good play. They'll see it too when there's not a good play. So I'm going to have to control myself a little bit. Hopefully no more curse words will be displayed. We won't have to apologize for any more things. We've had to do that the last 2 weeks. So we're working on that. But it should be, interesting. It should be fun. The Giants are coming off a big win. So hopefully they can continue that and kind of figure out their identity as a team.
Let's talk a little bit about that. Again, we're going to get to all the IBM stuff. This is a program you and I are actually doing together, so I know everything there is about it, and we will get to that. IBM Watson and the way that it is helping Eli beat me in fantasy football, which, to my never-ending frustration, you continue to do. That said, just a quick thought, if I could, on Daniel Jones. Last time I talked to you on TV, it is my opinion that Daniel Jones is acquitting himself very well. It's been a disappointing season to some degree for the Giants, but I think the quarterback has been, candidly, among the least of the problems. Through a quarterback's eyes, what are you seeing in Daniel Jones in his third year?
Well, I think Daniel's played very well. I think he's had some of his best games of his career this season. Unfortunately, some of them came in a loss. One of them came in a loss to Washington, but I thought he showed great poise in New Orleans, beating a good team and coming back in the fourth quarter to get that win. And last week played well. He can do a lot of things. He can catch one-handed passes. He can run 80-yard touchdowns, and he throws it very accurately. And he's done a better job of protecting the ball this season, which is kind of one of the issues that plagued him in the past. So he's obviously willing to fix things. And so he's the team has hit the injury bug. A lot of offensive linemen out. You start running back Saquon out. He's had receivers in and out all season, and so he's been the steady guy. He came back from a concussion. He's got toughness. So I think he's doing all the right things, and I think he is on the rise and playing his best football. And it's his third season. The first 2 years had different, brand new offensive coordinators. So he's still a young guy and learning the game of football, learning his offense, and everybody, all the other players are learning as well because they are a young squad, especially on the offensive side.
Eli with me on the Goodyear Hotline, making the plays that move you forward. Goodyear, more driven. Something that you never, well, I'm not going to say you never had to consider, but you never missed a game with injury in your entire career. We talked a lot on TV this morning, especially now in a 17-game season, so they've added another game, about just a guy like Dak Prescott, for example. He's got a calf, and the Cowboys are having a great year. And how you balance making a decision on playing when you've got a nagging injury that probably would get a whole lot better with a week of rest here or there. But in the NFL, traditionally, we don't ever sit these games out, right? It's not baseball. It's not basketball. How did you approach that in your career when you had something that was kind of banged up, and maybe did the thought of sitting kind of ever enter your mind? How does that work with a quarterback like we have with Dak in Dallas now?
I think the mindset is always to play if you can. If when you talk to the doctors and trainers, is there a chance you can make it a lot worse? And you definitely just, I think it's just the mindset that you want to be there for your teammates. Everybody's banged up in the NFL. We're getting near the halfway point. I mean, everybody's got something that's nagging a little bit. And so, especially the quarterback position, it's not like, if it's such a important position. I think you can, maybe alter the game plan so you limit some of the things that might, be bothering it. Whether that's, some bootlegs, or he might not run as much and do the sprints, or if it's more shotgun. So you can work around the game plan a little bit and still be successful and kind of hide the injury. But, it is something to consider, just with, hey, when's the bye week? Where do we stand kind of within the division and how that's going? And where if you can get a week or time it up with a bye week to get 2 weeks where you can, kind of stop the nagging and to see if you can kind of, end the nagging and get totally healthy to kind of make that push for the latter part of the season and into the playoffs is something always to consider, though. But I think from the quarterback standpoint, most of those guys are going to play if they can play and feel like they can help the team win.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.